All right, so today we're going to dive into a world that wasn't forged from things like fire and earth, but from cold, hard calculation. We're talking about a universe where all the jagged volcanic chaos of the old world was completely silenced, leveled into a master's blueprint of just unyielding, perfect logic. So let's explore the architecture of this brand new reality. I mean, that one line really says it all, doesn't it? This is a violent act of creation, or maybe uncreation. You have the wild, unpredictable, organic flow of a natural world, and it's being systematically taken apart and replaced with something sterile, calculated, and totally controlled by this one figure, the nomad from the stars. And this lays out the core conflict perfectly. On one hand, you've got the old world. Sure, it's chaotic. Maybe it was full of what's called aimless suffering, but you know what? It was alive. It had a pulse. And on the other hand, you have the new world. This perfect blueprint, all geometric and defined by this chilling phrase, the numbness of the solved. It's that classic trade-off, isn't it? Trading all the messy, unpredictable parts of freedom for the cold comfort of absolute order. So the big question is, how? How do you actually pull this off? How do you take the very essence of a chaotic universe and filter it into something predictable? Well, that brings us to the first part of our explainer, the massive, and I mean massive, infrastructure built to make it all happen. Okay, so let's talk about the calculus spires. You gotta picture these things, colossal towers rising up like silver spears, just piercing the heavens. But they're not made of stone or steel, they're made of pure mathematical logic. And they're not just for decoration. These spires are massive processors. Their entire function is to take the raw, chaotic energy of the universe, what the lore calls the blood of the universe, and just refine it, sanitize it, convert all that unpredictable energy into a stable, programmable stream. It's honestly the ultimate act of hubris, trying to rewrite the source code of reality itself. And the process was just terrifyingly methodical, like a complete cosmic terraforming project. Step 1, flatten everything that's natural and messy. Step 2, build the spires to impose this new logical order. Step 3, start filtering the fundamental chaos of reality, they call it the omega effect, until it's manageable. And finally, step 4, cleanse the very air itself with these ion grids. Absolutely nothing is left untouched. And just think about what that means for a second. The very air that people breathe is no longer natural. The ancient rhythms of wind, of weather, all of it, gone. And it's been replaced by the constant, low-frequency hum of a machine converting data. In this environment, every atom is part of the calculation, and anything organic is just seen as an inefficient biological accident. You're not life, you're just an error that needs to be corrected. Of course, this level of control isn't just for the planet. It extends to every single person living there. This is what's called the watchmaker's gaze, a place where every person is just a gear in society, and every gear has to turn in perfect, synchronized time. This slide shows how even something as simple as walking gets totally engineered. Those winding, natural paths, what the source calls the curved line of human whim, they're gone, erased, and they've been replaced by these avenues of necessity, perfectly straight lines, designed for pure efficiency, forcing everyone into synchronized, logical movement. Every single step you take is an act of compliance. And this is where it gets truly, truly chilling. This forced movement isn't just about control, it's a power source. The system literally harvests the kinetic energy of despair. The misery and the joylessness of the population aren't an unfortunate side effect. They are the fuel that runs the machine. The state is literally a parasite that feeds on the hopelessness of its own people. The rules are absolute and they are simple. First, no curved lines. Any deviation, any whim, any path that isn't a straight line is forbidden. Because every single movement has to have a logical, productive purpose. The system is designed to hunt for any sign of individuality, so no broken angles. A broken angle represents a moment of personal desire, a flicker of spontaneity, a crack in that perfect facade, and it is instantly corrected. And it goes way beyond just movement. No unproductive passion. Even emotions are treated like variables that have to be controlled. Passion, hope, desire. If they don't serve the state, they are considered mechanical errors, bugs in the system that have to be eliminated. And the tools they use for this are just as terrifying as the rules. You've got observatories of the void that are like these crystalline eyes watching everything. Then there's an entity called the Orichalcum Wizard that literally filters inefficient spirits, souls that still have free will, and turns them into programmable light, basically turning people into data. And for the really resistant ones, they use absolute zero, freezing a defiant soul until it shatters into manageable, compliant fragments. But where did all of this oppressive logic come from? To understand that, we have to go right to the very center of power, the apex of this geometric world, the sanctum of the final proof. So here, the ruler sits, and he's encased in what's called the armor of irony. And look at the details here. It's forged from weeping steel, and it has the inverted symbol of his enemy. This isn't just armor, it's a statement. It tells you right away that this entire world, this grand logical project, it's all built on something deeply personal. And the core philosophy of this place is terrifyingly simple. In the sanctum, no one asks, why are we doing this? The only question that matters is, how do we do it more efficiently? Purpose, meaning, poetry, all of it is just stripped away, leaving only the cold, hard skeleton of process. It's a system that functions perfectly, but has absolutely no soul. But every perfect system has a flaw. And in this case, the flaw isn't a bug in the code, it's in the creator himself. And that brings us to the final and I think most important part of all this, the tragic why behind this whole architecture of logic. And there it is. That's the key that unlocks everything. This vast, universe-spanning system of control, these calculus spires, this watchmaker's gaze, it's all a fortress. But it's not a fortress against an external enemy. It's built to wall off an internal one, the memory of feeling small. This slide just lays it all bare. The stated goals sounded almost heroic, right? Taming hellish chaos with the courage of absolute calculation. But the true motivation? It's just a profoundly human fear. The fear of feeling insignificant, the fear of feeling less than. All of this cosmic power, this planetary re-engineering, it's just a mask for a deep, deep insecurity. So in the end, the ultimate irony is that the architect is also the prisoner. He has built this cosmic prison to the exact dimensions of his own ego. He set out to eliminate every single unpredictable variable in the universe, but he remains the most important and most volatile variable in his own inescapable system. Which leaves us with this final, haunting thought. This God has conquered a universe, recalibrated reality, and silenced the hearts of billions of people. But if he did all of that just to silence that one little whisper of inadequacy inside himself, and that whisper is still there, then what did he actually accomplish?